you remember this? Yes, the Ese Olmo fresco in Borja, Spain. Do you remember that got a makeover by a well-intentioned amateur restorer? Do you remember the result? A viral sensation that transformed Jesus into what many said looked like a fuzzy potato face creature. It's a restoration saga that teaches us sometimes it's best to leave things to the professionals, or you might end up famous for all the wrong reasons. As you guessed, today's episode deals with a topic that has already changed a key aspect of restoration and conservation. Yep, AI becomes the new kid on the block. AI is a pivotal force in this new narrative at the crossroads of art, conservation, and digital innovation, and a groundbreaking ally. Oh, yes. AI-powered art restoration leverages sophisticated algorithms to rejuvenate aging and time-worn masterpieces, combining detailed image analysis with the finest of restoration techniques. So we have an amazing combination to be used. This evolution signifies a fusion of technology and tradition, safeguarding our cultural heritage for future appreciation. It underscores AI's instrumental role in enhancing the durability and integrity of our artistic legacy, opening a novel chapter in the story of conservation. I would probably change novel chapter into a revolution in the story of conservation. However, it is key to understand that AI is an aid to our conservators, a very smart assistant that can guide them to achieve unique results. Okay? It's not a substitute yet. I don't know what's going to happen, but we know that it's an amazing assistant. All right, so let's focus on a case, and now let's discuss one of the first restoration cases using AI. I'm talking about Militia Company of District 2 under the command of Captain Franz Bannekock. Does it sound familiar? Does it? Well, how about if I tell you this is the original title of Rembrandt's The Night Watch, painted in 1642 and located at the Rijks Museum in Amsterdam. Of course, right now you know what the painting is, right? Well, the painting was commissioned around 1639 by Captain Bannekock and 17 members of his Cloveniers, the civic militia guards. This amazingly large masterpiece, we're talking about 3.63 centimeters by 4.37 centimeters, used tenebrism, which is the use of light and shadows to create a magnificent atmosphere. Well, this painting had a very unique journey. Let's talk about it. To understand this painting's journey through time, we need to go back 300 years ago. It was first exhibited at the Cloven Ears Dulin house, but it was cut down in 1715 to fit in Amsterdam's town hall. Oh yes, these things happened back then. I mean, it's like we have it here, we want to move it there, it doesn't fit, cut the sides. So unfortunately, as I said, the painting needed to fit in between two doors, which requires some adjustment on the sides, in its new location. Yeah, I know. Yes, it sounds horrendous for those who are not familiar with this concept, but it was common practice, as I said before. Fortunately, a copy of the original painting was done by another contemporary artist, Gerrit Lundens, in the 17th century, which followed the same composition, but with a different style somehow. But it was very, very similar. And this is important to what's going to happen in when the last restoration took place. Okay, the work has been attacked 3 times over his history. The first one was in 1911 when a man carried a shoemaker's knife. How exciting! Tried to cut through the canvas but failed. Then in 1975, the painting suffered its most damaging attack when a school teacher slashed the bottom right of the painting multiple times. Extensive restoration was applied to hide the damage, but without being able to hide it completely. And finally, in 1990, sulfuric acid was sprayed on the painting, but the acid only penetrated the varnish. Thank God for that coat of varnish of the painting, and it was fully restored with no problem. I like to emphasize that all 3 attacks were carried on by people with mental illnesses. It wasn't something that it was done on purpose. Well, there are 3 main restoration projects. The first took place in the early 1940s to repair damage from a previous attack. Okay, that restoration process revealed that the assumed nocturnal night was caused by dark varnish from the surface. So one thing is to be tenebrism. Tenebrism is a tendency, is a style, but we're not talking about nightlight. Okay, so this is important to keep in mind. Then in 1975, after a severe knife attack, as I mentioned before, it was required extensive restoration, but it wasn't fully achieved what they wanted to make sure that the cuts were not that visible. And finally, in 2019, they decided to use advanced image techniques and AI to analyze and restore the painting meticulously, including the cuts that I mentioned before. So let's focus on 2019 during a pioneering restoration project that was composed by 25 restorers and a new colleague called AI. I wish we could give it a name, maybe Angeli or something like this, but we need to change this AI. Anyhow, it was agreed that the notable painting was too large and fragile to be moved from its gallery at the Rijksmuseum to circumvent the challenges posed by the artwork size and vulnerability. A specialized glass enclosure was erected around the painting, creating a controlled environment that allowed restorers to work on the painting in situ, as well as visitors to see it in the museum or live streaming the restoration process. This is so cool. I just want to mention to all museum goers and museum professionals, please, your institution needs to invest in restoration projects and make them as much accessible as possible. They are a huge success. People love to see what we do behind doors, okay? So make it accessible to people. Okay, so going back to the importance of AI, I have to say that his role was so pivotal in capturing high-resolution images of the painting, which was a crucial step that provided a detailed analysis of its condition. Okay, so these images offered an unprecedented look at the extent of damage and deterioration, revealing areas that were previously unseen or underappreciated in their complexity. Wow, isn't this amazing? I mean, after 300 years, we still discover new things thanks to AI. All right, so by identifying these areas, AI enabled conservators to meticulously plan and execute a restoration strategy tailored to the painting's specific needs. This blend not only speeds up the restoration process, but also enhances accuracy, ensuring that artworks are preserved more faithfully to their original state. So as AI continues to evolve, it promises to unlock even more possibilities, from virtual restoration to probably collaborative efforts across the globe. This last one is just amazing. At the same time, it ensures the safeguarding of our artistic treasures for the future generations to. All right, and now let's talk about something that to me is way too exciting, which is how can we bring things that are not there anymore to life again? Well, do you remember what I said before about 1715 when they had to cut the sides to fit it in between two walls in the town hall in Amsterdam? Well, beyond the mere analysis, AI capabilities extend the digital reconstruction of missing and damaged parts of the artwork. Wow! Leveraging sophisticated algorithms trained on the stylistic nuances of the original artist, AI generated accurate and aesthetically grounded digital restorations. These reconstructions provided conservators with valuable insights and references, facilitating a restoration process that was not only efficient but also remarkably precise. The integration of AI into the restoration workflow brought about a synthesis of efficiency, precision, innovation, significantly enhancing the accuracy of the restoration efforts and ensuring that the artwork was preserved more faithfully to its original state. Wow. This really goes boom in my head. Well, the project's success showcased AI's potential to revolutionize the field of art restoration. This is quite clear. AI's analytical prowess and restoration capabilities promises to unlock new possibilities in the preservation of cultural heritage, from virtual restoration projects that allow for the digital exploration of what artworks might have originally looked like. Okay, to facilitating, sorry, this blows my mind. I mean, what are we talking about? It looked like what, and now we cannot apart because we were able to get the style and reconstruct the missing parts because someone else painted something, and ooh, let's combine all these algorithms and boom, there you go. Amazing. So I was saying, to these collaborations, I said that we need to have these global collaborations, so AI stands at the forefront of a new era in art conservation. Such technologies not only preserve the physical integrity of the art world, but also ensure their aesthetic and historical essence is maintained for future generations to appreciate and study. As AI continues to evolve, its integration into the art restoration process signals a transformative shift towards more innovative, accurate, and collaborative methods of conserving our cultural heritage. This synergy between technology and traditional conservation techniques not only enriches our understanding and appreciation of historic artworks, but also ensures their survival and enjoyment for future generations. Wow, I love this episode. Sorry, I'm so excited. Well, this is all for today's episode. If you don't know me, my name is Pepe Remani, and this is all for today's episode with AI Museum News. Have a great day. Fins aviat.